Hi, hello, welcome. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are. Today is our newest episode of Nova Talks, and today I am going to ramble about my country. I have put up a rule in my streaming rules where you wanna supposed to mention a certain animated movie from the 2000s, and well, I put it up because I don't want that to be the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear this name. So today I'm going to actually remedy to that, if that is indeed the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the name Madagascar. Okay, so today is just gonna be mostly trivia. I am not going to pretend like I am someone who can represent the entirety of a country or anything like that. It is a big country with many people of many horizons in there, but still I'm going to share with you some stuff that I know, some stuff that I've lived through, so that you know that yeah, that place exists. There are people that live in there that have maybe different experiences from you, or maybe familiar experiences. Just a bit of sharing. And yeah, hopefully when you come out of today's episode, once you've heard a bit of what I have to say today, you will have a better idea, or you've had learned some stuff, or you would have felt like, oh, Nova lives in a very different place, but we do feel the same things. Sometimes we have lived through the same things. I don't know, whatever. Alright, so I'm not going to make a history lesson or anything like that. Just general layout is Madagascar is a big island in the Indian Ocean. The 5th biggest island in the world if you count Australia as the first. The 2nd biggest country island. And what else? Yeah, it's bigger than most European countries. When I learned geography back in the days when I was in primary school, what's it called in English again? Oh, it's not the width. Well, the survey. The surveys. It was about 500. Wait. Where's my pen? I took the pen. Is my pen dead? No, come on. I went out. I put this out so I can write and maybe draw a bit from time to time. And my pen is dead, it looks like. Okay, great, just great. Just a moment. Right, where's the pen? Pen, where are you? Pen, where are we? Ah, here we go. Okay, so 500. Is this too big? 592k kilometers square. Why is it not appearing? Oh my god. Hello to you, welcome. Thank you very much for dropping by. Kinsday vlog. Oh, it's no problem at all. Thank you very much for dropping by. Wait. Woo! Nande? Why aren't you? That's not what I wanted to do. Why is this not registering what I'm doing right now? Why are you not registering what I'm doing right now? Huh? Huh? Okay, wait. Right. So, why is this such a struggle? Why is this such a struggle? Ah, there, finally. Okay, so it's about 592k kilometers square. It probably has lost a bit over the time because it's an island and the shores get eaten away by the sea, by the ocean. But it's basically something like this. Pretty big. We have about 5k kilometers of coasts. Is that how you call it? That. And as you could see on my wait, I'll bring it up. It has more or less the form of a left foot. Is how it looks, more or less. Basically, there it is. Right here is the continent. It's right there, and you can see it. It's the big island here. There are many smaller islands that are attached to it. But yeah, kind of like a left foot. And basically, for example, I live in the capital, so it's towards the center. Around I'm not good with geography, but must be somewhere around something like in the middle here. And to go to the next biggest city, it takes something like 3 hours. So yeah, it's pretty large. It's not a question of to go from the capital to something like here. It takes a good 3 days and 3 nights, I'd say, if the roads are agree with you. Same to go to the top, northern top. Yeah. Hello, Captain Price the second. Welcome. Thank you very much for dropping by. I can only speak English and French, so I am very sorry if you speak another language. I'll have a hard time understanding. So please just keep to those two, if possible. Thank you. Even if you speak Japanese, I barely speak any Japanese. Okay, so what can we talk about? The thing is, okay, so first it is an island in the southern hemisphere. So if you're in the northern hemisphere right now, it's summer for you, but for us it's the cold season. However, we have a rather tropical climate, so relatively it's pretty warm, even if it is the cold season compared to like countries in the north hemisphere. We don't have stuff like snow here. It rarely goes towards 0 degrees C, even when it is very cold. It is usually cold on the highlands, so towards the center, but otherwise on the coast it's always pretty warm and even hot. We get temperatures, we have in certain cities temperatures that can go up to something like 40 degrees C, which is pretty hot. Yes. Usually for me, in my city, in where I live, we have something like around 20 degrees C when it's cold, and can go to up to 30 maybe when it's warm. It's pretty consistent, but there aren't too huge differences between the temperatures when it goes like that. And so what was live as a small Malagasy girl? First, I think I also need to mention this, but Malagasy people have a very Malagasy is the name of the people here, the nationality. Malagasy people have a very varied heritage. We have some Austronesian, African, even Arab heritage. So there is a wide range of people, but usually when we see each other, it's like, Malagasy. We tend to like, if we see pictures of people from the Southeast of Asia, they do look quite a lot like us. It's not always, well, quite a lot like us. I see that like there are many, like I said, there's a wide range of features, traits of melanin rate. So some people have clear paler skin, and other people have more melaninated skin. So if you see some Malay people, or I don't know if Indonesians do look like us a lot, but yeah, it's a very wide range, and it's a pretty interesting thing to look at. We are a very mixed race, but over time it just became its own thing. Okay, so if I put Indonesian people here, do they look? Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like I said, yeah, familiar traits, yes. And so, what can I say first about growing up as a small Malagasy girl? Traditionally, we tended to have many kids in a single household. That has somewhat gone down lately. I think the childbirth rate has kind of lowered a tiny bit, but as far as the population goes, we have a very young population, like a wide, like a big majority of our population being under 18 years of age, and it's very bottom heavy. If you had to look at the age pyramid. It's very wide at the base and very thin at the top. So pretty much a typical pyramid. And you have like the big part of it under 18 years old. But I can see it like in the generation before mine, for example, like the parents before mine had stuff like 5 or something like that siblings. I only have me and my brother. we were always like, we started to just be, let's just make 2 kids and be done with it. Hello Tom, welcome, thank you very much for dropping by. And isn't that what a population demographic thing is supposed to look like? Well, as far as I know, for example, in European countries, it's wider at the top, isn't it? Like the population is not very young and rather old. Or has it changed? I don't know. But that's what I learned when I was still that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. I have graduated from school for a long time ago, and I don't really keep up with whatever is happening in other countries. But that is what I know. That what I learned is that our population is very young, really young. And so like I said, it's just me and my brother. But it was something. It was a rather normal thing to have like 4 or 5 siblings in a family. I don't know. No, nowadays I don't know if they started to have more kids again. But I know at one point it started to like slightly lower. You know what? If we were to look up, well, the thing is, we are a country that is considered in the classified as least developed country by the UN. So even the statistics are probably pretty outdated. Even if I were to like look up birth rate, probably it's gonna be something that is pretty much outdated. Let's see. If I bring out the Wikipedia page, estimates population 2023, not quite 29 millions. Yeah, we have a big island and not that many people yet living in it. Density 47.7 people per kilometer square. I think that is pretty low. That is pretty low. If I was to like compare it to say for example Japan, which I know its population is dying out. If I were to bring out Japan, what would it say? It says population density 330 per kilometer square. Ours is barely 48 per kilometer square. It's very big and not that many people, despite having many kids per households. But yeah, I wasn't honestly, people that went to school with me, I remember, didn't have that many siblings either, unless it was just a peculiar coincidence where everyone that barely had any siblings in their households went to the same school. But yeah, I think I was of a generation where we didn't have that many siblings. I don't know nowadays how it is. I know that the birth rate kinda slowed down a bit. But I don't know how much it is right now. So typically, maybe I won't really talk that much about typically, but I'll just tell things from my perspective. Like I said, I do not pretend to like represent the country or anything. I am from the country, purely bred from there. Like my parents, my grandparents, everyone is from here. There is not an ounce of foreign blood in me, at least as far as living memory goes, and even not living memory. Typically, no, not typically. Stop saying typically, Nova. There is no typically. So, like I said, I was born in a family. From both sides, we are just purely Malagasy. The usual is... No, not the usual. Stop! Nova, stop talking about usual. Yeah, no, but like, no. But at the same time, I can say about the... I say the usual because the Malagasy culture is also a lot about what used to be done, traditions. It's about traditions a lot, even though nowadays we don't necessarily apply those traditions as much, but it's also a lot about we used to do this, we didn't see anything wrong about it, so we kept doing it. basically that's how it goes. So at a time, I think towards like the generations of my grandparents, it was still pretty common to arrange marriages between families. But by the time of my parents, it was not so much the case anymore. Things have evolved from there. When we were in school, we learned a lot about, well, a lot. I don't know if a lot is the correct word, is the correct quantifying word. We did learn about Malagasy culture, traditions, and all of that. But the thing is, nowadays, we don't apply them as much anymore. There are some that are still observed to a reasonable degree, but a lot of them aren't anymore. So like I said, my second language is French, which comes naturally because the country was annexed by France in the 19th century, and I've heard that the scholar system flip-flop between going full Malagasy and French at some times and others. Like there was some people of a certain generation that suffered through learning everything in French, and then the next year everything has to be taught in Malagasy. And it's not about just talking the language, it's about learning all the technical terms in the other language. For example, for me personally, I learned everything in French, and so I am completely unfamiliar with technical terms in Malagasy actually. For example, stuff like in maths or in physics, I learned everything in French, and so if I was given a subject in Malagasy, I would be what is that? I don't even know. So yeah, there was stuff like that. But I was sent to all girls schools, Catholic all-girls school. Yeah, so the thing is, Christianity is the by far the dominating, the most practiced religion on the island, and there are many Catholic schools from different orders of sisters and brothers, and I was sent to all girls schools. So basically the thing is, they are private schools but with a reasonable fee. And I was sent there because in my generation at least, and I'm sure it hasn't really changed that much, the public schools' reputations had fallen quite a lot. Basically, in the times of something like my parents' generation, they had a good reputation of having high rates of success in official exams, if I'm not mistaken. And then by the time it was my turn to go to school, parents weren't really trusting the public schools that much. So I was sent to an all-girls school. It's not so much because it was an all-girls school, but just because those schools had a good reputation. Plus the fee, like I said, was reasonable enough. So I was sent there. And like I said, we did all our like all the courses were in French. Like the written courses were in French. Obviously we communicated in Malagasy still in school, but all the courses were in French. Everything was in French except the subjects that were in different language, about a different language. So basically Malagasy was in Malagasy, and once we were older, they added English to the curriculum too, and so English was trying to be taught entirely in English, but it the level of English is not really that high. I'd say it's just like a little bonus, and that is how it was treated in official exams, more like a bonus course where you can add some points to try to get the passing score, basically. But it's not really that advanced. Personally, I have only started to really work on my English something like 10 years ago, and I was starting to read novels in English, and that's how I started to work on my proficiency in English. You are not above the law, my man. Welcome, Blankton. Thank you very much for dropping by. So yeah, like I said, I went to Catholic schools, even though I'm actually Protestant, like. But yeah, it's a very common thing for us, like everyone, not everyone. There are people that aren't religious, but it's kind of a majority that everyone goes to church on Sunday, and everyone is one or the other branch of Christianity. But I was sent to the Catholic schools because they had a good reputation, and my parents just wanted me to get a good education, you see, so we just went there. The difference I can point out about the public school and the Catholic school I went to was they had one subject about the religion. So it's basically what did we do again? Basically it's learning about the base principles of a religion, the practices, stuff like that. And yeah, it's Christianity is the dominating religion. Like I said, there are some that aren't religious at all. There are some that still do practice, I think, probably still do practice a bit of the old traditions, and there are Muslims, but those I think probably aren't like very like anywhere else. I think there is a community of Chinese people, immigrants, and there is a community of like Pakistano Indians, and those are mostly the ones that are Muslims. I think I don't think there are many like really purely bred Malagasy that are Muslims, but not a big amount anyway. I won't really tell much about. It's not like I know the statistics or what. What I know is the big majority is Christian, and like I said, it's just a normal thing, a traditional thing to go to church on Sundays, stuff like that. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So in class, the things that were added really was just there was one subject on religion, and at some point we also had stuff like civic education, like for taught us basically how to be decent human beings in the Malagasy society, and knowing stuff like administrative stuff, like if you need to ask for this official paper, what do you need to offer, what do you need to do, what steps do you need to make to take, which I think is a really good thing. It's a really good thing because honestly there are many administrative processes that are obnoxiously complicated for no reason, and it was good to have those kind of subjects. But yeah, like I said, like basically at base I'm just bilingual. I talk Malagasy and French. I've spoken French since I was a little wee child. All our programs on TV are in Malagasy and French, mostly in French, even if I'm being honest. But I think lately they started to try to add a bit of English, which I think is a good thing. Might as well do that. Yeah, you can keep asking questions, it's fine. I don't promise to answer them, but you can ask questions. Of course you can. But like I said, my experience is not necessarily a typical one. There are many kids that went through the same kind of education I did, and many kids that didn't either. Like the country is not considered a least developed one for no reason. It's a reality that 80% or even more are living in some precarious situations, and it's a fact that I am just fortunate to have been born in a family that allowed me to have a roof over my head, 3 square meals a day, and education, and even doing stuff like what I'm doing right now. But yeah, apart from that, what else can we talk about? Maybe I can talk to you guys about some of our traditions that might sound interesting to you, might sound familiar, I don't know, it really depends. So like I said, we have more of an Austronesian and then African, maybe even Arab ancestry, and that is the hot melt pot that made us what we are today. We have many traditions, and I think not a lot of them have, I think the most prominent ones have survived and are still kind of observed today, but more to more like as a habit, and not so much, it doesn't hold as much of significance it had back then, I think. Also, I have to say this, I'm only going to talk about again and again, I would say this, I'm only going to talk about the stuff I know, the stuff I lived through, and the stuff I learned about in school, because like I said, it's a big country. There are 18 I don't know if I can call them tribes, but that's the nearest word that comes to my mind. Basically, there are like 18 quote-unquote tribes, and I only know what pertains to me. So there are many other traditions that I'm unaware of. So I'm only just going to talk about the stuff I know, so that, you know, just to share, just so you know that, oh, okay, stuff like that exists. Oh, stuff like that is familiar. So the traditions that are still observed to this day: circumcision. Circumcision was a big thing back in the day. Like it was the tradition that was supposed to like make a little boy into a man. And there's like a whole big event around it. But nowadays it's really just, I think most people are really just well, not most, I can't say most people. Most of the people around me just do it to their boys, as like going through it in a modern surgery setup. But there are still many that observe the old tradition, or more or less, because there's thing like honestly, when you think about it with a modern mindset, it's kind of scary. Because you have like the person that does the operation is not actually a surgeon or anything, but they're a specialist in the thing. And there's a whole process that goes into it. It's a very long process, and I'm afraid of botching it if I try to like tell it quickly like this. But basically, can I even talk about it basically? Okay. There are stuff involved. And many people involved, but it's a big event. It's a really big event. So when you have a little boy, I don't remember if there is an age, in the tradition, I mean, where it's gonna take place. But basically, okay. I'm just gonna the Reinzaz is the name of the dude that's gonna do the operation. Basically, if we were to translate Reinzaz, it means father of a kid, but it's not the father that does it. But that's the appellation of the specialist that does the circumcision. They do it, and but before that, there's a whole thing where like the strong men of the village are going to grab some water for them to clean the stuff with, inside a gourd. Is that how it's called? It's a how do you pronounce this in English? Gourd. How do you pronounce this in English? but it's the word inside a good. I go with the French pronunciation. Inside a group, they're gonna take some water from a strong river. They're gonna take the water, and that is what's gonna be used to to clean the stuff. And the bit of stuff that is taken out is gonna be eaten with a banana by the father. Was it the father? Yeah, by the father. And then there's gonna be like a big event with with musicians, and they're gonna bring the kid out. they're gonna chant, "Oh, you're a man now, you're a man now." It's really, I'm really botching this explanation, but it's a very interesting thing, and it has many variations depending on where you are on the island. But it was a big thing. It was a big thing. Nowadays, it's really just the modern, those who are just gonna do it for medical purpose. It's just gonna be a normal medical surgery, but there are still many that do the traditional version of it. Not 100% the old tradition, but still pretty close to it. That is one. The other is the Famadian. Okay. Oh god. Famadian. What's good with Malagasy is you write it as you pronounce it, basically. Yeah, maybe not. I say that because it's my language, but maybe not exactly. You thought getting circumcised was a global thing? Yeah. I myself wasn't aware of it not being global either. I wasn't concerned, obviously, but since I had a brother and I was like the only girl growing up in our household, but there were many boys around me. It's something that I was familiar with. But none of the boys that grew up with me were done well. We didn't do it the traditional way anymore. We just it was just done with actual doctors in a modern surgery kind of setup. The Famadian is okay. So Malagasy people bury their deads, but we don't bury them in the ground. We bury them in actual like mausoleums. And the Famadian is a tradition where, well, basically, we go to the mausoleum again and check. Okay, so when we bury our dead, we bury them within several layers of precious cloth. I don't know if land exists anywhere else, but it's basically that. Land cloth. Lamba land. Lamb is the cloth, and land is the type of cloth. We envelop them into the lamba land. And the Famadian basically is a tradition where once in a while we go back to the mausoleum and we change the lamba land. It's also a big event where the whole family gathers and have a big feast. I think I've gone to like one in my as well. In my memory, I've only gone to one, and I don't even remember which Famadian it was. Malagasy people have a big respect for their ancestors, and like religiously, ancestors have a big place in the Malagasy tradition. But like I said, Famadian is I haven't gone to. I think just a single one. It's not something. I think it's not something that we do that much because, like I said, the vast majority of the religious people are Christian, and it's like they feel like it kind of contradicts the faith, I guess, and so they don't really do that much anymore. I've only gone to a single one, and that's all I remember. This is not a tradition that I or anyone in my family have observed that much. We do change the cloth of our deads from time to time when there is someone in the family that died. We take the time to also change the cloth that envelopes their dead bones. I think it's more just like reminiscing the people. It's for the people that are alive more than for the people that are dead. That's the case, at least in my family. LGBT in general, yeah, well, since I'd say the country is still quite, I don't know, I wouldn't say that it's very progressist in mind. So either you have religious extreme Christian people that condemn it, or just very traditional people that don't find it very natural either. I wouldn't say that it's a subject that is very widely discussed, known, or tolerated. But like I said, I can't really talk for everyone or anything. It doesn't mean that there is absolutely no place for some progress on that front, but that's really not something that is very widely discussed, I'd say, or at least not around me. But then again, I'm kind of an oddball that is just existing in my my little fringe, so I really can't tell. What else? Yeah, well, burying people, like I said, the Fandevinan. That's what's the burying is called, Fandevinan. It also had some more complex traditions attached to it, but nowadays it's become very much just bring the dead to the church. Really, it's become really entangled with Christian religion. So the only part of the traditional burying that's left is we envelop them in the Lambaland, like I said, and we put them in the mausoleums. That one, I don't think I've learned much about the Fandevinan back in school. I learned a lot about the circumcision because it was such a big thing. And now that I think about it, I don't remember a single tradition that was meant for girls. Yet I know that there were some matriarchal societies, so I don't know exactly how that works. It feels like it's a very patriarchal society, but I don't know that there are some matriarchal societies, so I don't know. I don't know about the traditions there. But as far as I know, there is not a single tradition that is meant for girls. Because there's the circumcision for the boys, there's nothing for the girls. The one thing that always happens for girls is we more or less systematically get a piercing, get our ears pierced well before we are able to remember it. It's just like when you see a baby, you check the ears. Is this a girl or a boy? You check the ears. That is not something that I've known as I do not know of any tradition, old tradition attached to it, but it's become a custom. It's become a custom. Of course, you'll always find girls that don't have their ears pierced, but it's something that is pretty widely practiced. I have my ears pierced myself. I don't remember when it was done. And most of the girls around me have their ears pierced. This one is a funny one, because honestly, I don't know when it started. I don't know who started it. I don't know how it became a custom, but it's a custom. That's the only custom tied to girls that I know of in my country. Alright, what else? What else can we talk about? We talked about tradition, a little about traditions. Oh, in all of our in all of those practices, there is this thing called kabari. Basically, it's the art of giving a speech. But it's a very artistic kind of speech. It has a clear structure to it, and it's really about the art of using proverbs and word plays. It's a really beautiful kind of speech to listen to, but kind of difficult to translate to. Malagasy people, like the old the ancestors, as we call it, the taul is how we call like the olden people. The taul had a lot of very wise sayings. What I can say about them is that they kept observing around them, and like it seems like the olden Malagasy weren't really interested in the how, but more in the okay, so this is what happens, therefore this is what we should be doing. I think they were pretty practical. Well, that's my observation. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but that's the conclusion I came to. Fatal had a lot of interesting sayings, and once you just take the time to observe, just think about what they were saying, it's really full of wisdom. So the kabar is a speech where basically we use all the proverbs, but also you can use modern idioms. Yeah, I think it's idioms what I was searching for. Is it idioms? Group of words established by usage as having a meaning not deducible from those of individual words. Characteristic mode of expression in music or art. Well, I learned it a bit when I was younger, way younger. When I was in middle school, I learned it a bit. Learned the structure, how to write it, and most if not all of our important events will always have a kabar in it. So it goes for marriages, that like really from beginning to end from from when a boy becomes the man, from when two people are going to be wed, from you say goodbye to a family member at the cemetery. It's a big part of it. There are still people that practice it nowadays, and at least you always have some form of kabar in marriages, in the traditional marriage, and when we bury your dead. What's the un enterrement? Un enterrement, c'est quoi déjà? Enterrement in English. In a funeral. Oh god, I know the word. It's just that it doesn't come to me that easily sometimes. In marriages, we always have the traditional marriage also, but it's not as it was back then. The traditional marriage is called VTuber, which is literally the butt of what's the name of the animal again? No, wait, like the mutton. The butt of the sheep. Of a sheep. Basically, it was considered like it's a manner of giving paying respects to the parents of a bride, to offer them the VTuber. What's my favorite movie about Madagascar? There is none. There is none. I have no favorite movie about Madagascar. Welcome to. Thank you very much for dropping by. Okay, so there is a long, like the custom has some very complicated, complex steps about it. Nowadays it has been simplified quite a lot, but we still do the VTuber when two people are getting married. Nowadays it's kind of like an engagement before or after. It depends on the people, but nowadays it's kind of like an engagement. Then there's the civil marriage, where we sign the official papers, and there's the religious marriage, obviously, where we go to church. But the VTuber is still observed. Just it has been simplified quite a lot. There was stuff like the groom would have to it's a funny thing. The groom would have to like fire 7 little spears towards the brother of his bride, because like he's taking away his sister, something like that. There are a lot of little complex steps, and it's really interesting to study about. But I'm really just saying stuff as trivia. But it's everything is pretty interesting to study, and everything has a significance. Like everything has its meaning. Everything has its meaning in every Malagasy tradition. But I can't possibly tell everything. Plus, I've only learned a few, and at that, only those of where I live. Like I said, there are many other variations of every one of those traditions. There are some traditions that are very specific to some regions. So yeah, I'm just giving you some trivia, and if you're interested, I'm sure. I don't know if there are many that are like. The problem with the Malagasy traditions is that, like, at base, everything was orally. It was only mouth to mouth. Not much has been written. It's only been written like in modern days, and a lot of it has probably have been deformed in one way or another. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm sure is not actually accurate. But yeah. Nano, hello, welcome, thank you very much for dropping by. Minja, hello, welcome, thank you very much for dropping by. When you think of Madagascar, you think about that weird area surrounded by razor-sharp rocks with real plants and animals. I think you probably are talking about the Tsing. There are two Tsing, actually, but it's probably the Tsing de Bemara. Is this it? Okay, so you okay, just a moment. Let me grab this. Just a moment. I'm gonna show you guys some images. Is okay? Is this gonna appear? This it's too small. Okay, I'm gonna grab this a bit bigger like this. Why is this in front of me? Okay, let me. Damn it! I didn't remember the screen being like this. Okay, get back. Like this. Stuff like that. The Tsing de Bemara is the one that is mostly visited, I think. I regrettably, personally, haven't had the opportunity to go there yet. But yeah. Oral traditions. Yes, oral traditions is what I mean. Like, there's a lot. Everything was mostly oral. It's really mostly oral. And so there's a ton of things that just got lost after a while. How safe is it over there? Honestly, there's probably safer. It probably there's a lot of place that is safer. Yep, there is a lot of. When you talk about Madagascar, obviously, the first thing that should come to mind should be the very unique fauna and flora. The Tsing of Bemara is one rock formation, but there is also, of course, the baobabs, which, if I'm not mistaken, I saw something recently that basically says that all baobabs are originated from Madagascar. These big trees. You have the alley of baobabs in the south. Regrettably, I haven't gone there yet either. There's a lot of places in the country I haven't been able to go to because, like I said, it's a big country. You don't go from one place to the other that easily. It costs money, obviously. So yeah, baobab trees are really nice. Yeah, baobabs. What else? Like, obviously, lemurs. There are many kinds, many species, many families of them. personally have visited like 2 national parks. The one in Ranumafan, which literally translates to hot water. The national park of Ranumafan, where there were several species of lemurs, but also there were fusa. It's called fusa. It's a feline, and there are also many kinds of birds. Like honestly, if you have to think about something, like honestly, there is so many things. What else? What other stuff can we say as there are many, like most of the creatures here are endemic, and not many are actually dangerous. Like it's not like Australia where apparently a lot of what the fuck, man. Welcome, but please don't do all caps in the chat like that. And if you're a troll, I'll make sure to ban you. People have crazy pets. Do people have crazy pets? No. Like I said, most animals aren't really that are pretty harmless. There aren't really any very dangerous animals in here. Like the biggest ones are the crocs, and there are some in damn, what's the name of the city again? Marvwai, which is literally Marvwai literally means many crocs. But yeah. Oh, come on, Ninja, don't look at my search history, come on. Ninja, stop that. You know, I'm trying to find some inspiration when I do art, come on. But curiously, it's hard to find stuff. Maybe it's just that I'm bad with research. I don't know. There is a town, a city that is called Marvwai. Many crocs. Literally, that means many crocs. But the animals in here aren't really that many aren't that dangerous. There are some that are venomous, I guess. Like the venomous ones will be the arachnids. We have some species of spiders and scorpions, but mostly there aren't anything that is very dangerous. Ever traveled outside the country? My single escapade outside the country was in the neighboring island of Mauritius. That's it. I've never gone outside of my country ever. Outside of that. Besides that, and there was nothing very different. Actually, like the topography of the island is pretty similar to Madagascar. I mean, the topography in Mauritius was pretty similar to Madagascar, so it wasn't. I didn't see anything that different. It was just like geography-wise, it wasn't anything very different. Yeah, I think there are many. The baobabs probably have been brought somewhere else, but it seems they are really, every baobab originated from Madagascar. Like it came from here and then have been planted somewhere else. we have many interesting places to go to. Honestly, if we went to say Madagascar, and the first thing that appears, places to visit, Nuss Bay. Okay, Nuss Bay is a small island somewhere in around here. Okay, this goes away. In the northwest, around here. Wait. Yeah, around here. It's a very small island. I hear it's beautiful. I haven't been to so many places. It also says, wait, did I show it? Yeah, I was showing something on the map, but the map didn't appear. It's somewhere northwest of a. It's a small island northwest of a bigger island. Isal National Park. Yep, that one Wait, did we go inside? I think we. Wait, am I? Isal National Park is a national park in the south. Okay, so I guess I have to. There it is. To show this. Like you can see, the east coast is the green one, the greenish one, and then typically the west and the south are much more dry. Nuss Bay is around here, northwest. The Isal National Park must be somewhere around here. I'm not very good with geography. That's where I'd place it. Maybe it's a bit softer. I don't know anymore. But towards the south. And what else? What does it say? The Tsing de Bemara. Yeah, that's the Tsing. The Tsing is towards the south. The Tsing is towards the south too. There's another Tsing in the north, if I'm not mistaken, but the Tsing de Bemara is the most famous one. Andas Bay is towards the east. The east is very green and very humid, and the west and the south are very dry, very dry. Usually, if you had to talk about problems, the north is usually subject to floods, and the south is usually subject to droughts. So yeah. The east is humid, so the temperatures are lower than in the west, but the coast is always pretty warm compared to here in the center. I live in the center. The capital is in the center, and it's on higher ground, so it's colder, and the coasts are pretty warm all year round. You should go to visit those places. Well, if I have the opportunity, of course I'll do it, but yeah, the opportunity hasn't arisen that much. Thank you for the beats. Thank you. Can I just answer with a single word? How is the treatment of LGBT people in Madagascar? I can't answer with a single word. Okay, so I'll repeat this. Keep in mind that I am an oddball that lives in the fringe of the society. Mostly. I need to put this disclaimer at first, okay? I I'm only interested in the things I'm interested in, and I am pretty indifferent to the rest. So I cannot tell you anything with certainty here. I can tell you my outlook on how people look at it. How do I say it? My interpretation based on my experiences within the society I live in. There. I can tell you my interpretation based on the society I live in, based on the things I hear people around me say. Malagasy are pretty traditional and not very progressive. So I think in most cases LGBT are met either with extreme Christians which are not tolerant towards them, or extreme traditionalists which are not tolerant towards them. But it does not mean that there aren't gonna be any people tolerant towards them. But I feel like it's a subject that is still very far from being widely discussed. Like, if there are LGBT, I remember there was a talk about I don't know, an event for LGBT or something like that at some point that got cancelled because it was met with some resistance, I think. That's the kind of stuff that happens. I'd say it's not, it feels to me like we are not yet at the point where we can be, I say we, I do not wait, don't take this the wrong way. My outlook is I try to be open-minded about everyone. Honestly, whatever anyone has as preferences or what they identify as is their own business, and I have no problem with that. But I say we as in we as the Malagasy society, I think is not yet to the point where I think it's not even to a point where that is a subject widely known or discussed. Honestly, I can see it discussed from time to time on social medias, meaning from people that are a little more modern, have a more modern outlook, have the opportunity to have a more modern outlook. But for most people, I think maybe it's not even something that they know exists. I don't know. Honestly, it's a very difficult question to answer. Girl kissing get with quite a bit of prejudice in many places. Curious about the view of someone from another place. Oh, yeah. No, I think the thing with Madagascar is we are a very paradoxical country. There are a lot of things that are very outdated, and at the same times there are stuff out of nowhere that are like, wait, this exists here in this backcountry place that is in this like so many times it feels like we're really literally in an island lost. Nobody knows about us. We know nothing about the outside world, and we're just living our little lives here. And then over time it's like, wait, this exists here, but I heard this doesn't exist in other famously developed country. So it's kind of weird and hard to really actually figure out, I'd say. And again, I had this disclaimer. I'm only talking about my own experiences. I do not pretend to represent the country or anything. Like, I live here. I was born here. I lived here all my life, and I'm sharing with you guys, like I said, so that you know that these things exist too here, or these things exist here and they don't exist anywhere else. You know, sharing, because I cannot. I actually I was kind of hesitant at first to share about these things, but I feel like, yeah, no, honestly, I don't like the idea of the name of my country being associated with a silly animated movie of the 2000s and nothing more. An animated movie that didn't even help anyone remember anything about the actual country. So yeah, I might as well share a bit here. Yes, there is KFC in Madagascar. Yes, they've come here a few years back already. Yes, there is KFC. There is Coca-Cola. There is KFC. What else? There is such things, yes. But yeah, no, I think like Malagasy people are kinda, from my experience, how I describe the Malagasy people is pretty traditionalist, and yet at the same time don't really observe their traditions anymore. It's pretty funny. So yeah, no, it's not something like, if you see typically if people saw two people of the same sex, it's different for girls. Like seeing girls holding hands is normal because they're girls, you know. Seeing two men holding hands, people would be, the fuck? And obviously seeing them kissing on the mouth, if they're of the same sex, would be, what is this? That is how I think things would go. But I'm not very familiar with the community, but there is a community of community for everything, not just LGBT, but like even stuff like bikers, we cook over. So I'm sure there is, and like I said, since I've heard of an incident about an event being cancelled, but the road is still very long. And that is just one tiny problem among many that we have to tackle in the country, honestly. I always search for Chinese food all over the world just to see how the local ingredients change the food. Well, Chinese food is pretty, like, I guess it's probably pseudo-Chinese food, actually, I think. Because like we have Chinese soup, which is basically just kind of like ramen noodles, with different ingredients in it. Now we have fried rice, which we call Cantonese rice. Like I said, I think it's more pseudo-Chinese more than actually Chinese. Yeah. KFC is something that you miss only in Sao Paulo, so it's quite a bit far and hard to get. It's Chinese style food. Yeah. Like I said, I think it's more pseudo-Chinese more than anything. It's widely, like, it's widely, you'd find that in any small or big restaurant, honestly. Whenever you go, you'd have some kind of pseudo-Chinese style food. Like I said, the Chinese soup and the Cantonese rice, which is just basically some kind of ramen and some kind of fried rice. Those two, you're pretty sure to find them in most restaurants, unless they are very ostentatiously of a certain specialty. Vietnamese food isn't even real over there. Pictures look with. honestly, Vietnamese food is something that's like Vietnamese restaurant is a very recent thing. So I don't know. I'm really not. I can't tell anything about it. Aside from that, it's a pretty recent thing. Recent things are also French tacos. French tacos. Yeah, French tacos. Pizza too is relatively recent because it's something that's been introduced in like what, the last 20 years. But the pseudo Chinese stuff was always there as far as I remember. One of the things that I remember too is that, like, when I was a small child, I got sent on errands by, well, I was mostly raised by my grandparents because my parents had to go to work. So I was usually sent by my grandmother on small errands to buy stuff. And so I remember some prices. And it's honestly like one of the things that also stuck in my mind is how I could actually see the inflation. Most of the things that I bought back then are like 10 times, no, well, not most, but there are things that are 10 times more expensive today, and things that are like twice or 5 times more expensive. It's mind-boggling. It's really sad. Like, I remember there is the mufkas. It's a kind of, like, literally, if you have to translate this literally, it means Malagasy pan. And so it's a kind of let's see, probably if I typed that, it would probably be able to show you. Yes, mufkas. It's a typical yeah, kind of like pancakes. It's rice based, yeah, because rice is our base food. Like we eat rice at every meal. And I kid you not, most of us feel weird if we don't eat rice at least once a day. So mufkas, it's rice based. It's kind of a, it's not a bread, but kind of a, yeah, maybe pancake would be the closest to it. But it's made out of rice flour, I guess, and it's pretty cheap in general. It's pretty cheap. Like, you have that in any little small shop in the road. Like, it's typical. You have that with some milk or some coffee in the morning, and it's pretty cheap to buy. And I used to buy that for me and my grandparents to eat as a small snack. And the other day my brother bought some, and I had asked, okay, it's how much it is, and it was literally 10 times more expensive today. I also remember the bus fare is now what, 3 times. It used to be 200 ariar to go home. The bus fare, it's 3 times more expensive now. I remember a lot of prices from when I was a child, and comparing them to today, it's mind-boggling. I don't know how inflation is in other countries. Still, I know that there are like some European people that like work in their respective countries and come to our country because it's the price of life is much cheaper comparatively to in their country. Plus the currency is weaker here, so they'd have a better time with it. But for us in general, it's just yep, things don't go better. Guys didn't have pizza before. No, it's something that's relatively new. Was it 20 years ago? Let's say in the last 15 years it developed. It's thanks to a fast food. What's it called? A line of fast foods, local fast foods called Castro Pizza. That the pizza has started to be widely known and actually got popularized. Rice-based pancake. Yeah, I guess. Japanese food looks nearly similar. I think Japanese food is like that because of the anime culture. Like, yeah, okay. So if you know since, like I said, most of our programs are in French and Malagasy, and when I was a child, we had like the TV channels usually broadcasted stuff from French channels. Yeah, I know what that stands for too. In any language, there's always the chance of being insulting. But in my language, mouf just means bread. A life with no pizza would be quite a sad life. I don't know. I remember I used to dislike pizza when I was a child. I only got a taste for it much later, like when I somewhere near in my mid teenage years, I think I started to kind of like it, and now I can eat it fine. But when I was a child, when we were starting to eating pizza, I really disliked it, probably because I didn't like cheese that much as a child. We'll just leave it be. We'll just leave it be too. I saw the message, but we'll just leave it be. Yeah. So like I said, many of our the animated series that were broadcast here were from French TVs, and that includes Dragon Ball Z, which was one of the first anime that really introduced many of my generations to anime culture. And somewhere like during mid 2000s, I think, maybe around there, or a bit later, maybe late 2000s, like the culture of the anime culture started to kind of take a bit of a root here. I say a bit of a root because like it was really it was still something niche. Like even anywhere else, it's still pretty niche, even though it has developed quite a lot. But still, it's not as mainstream as many other actually mainstream stuff. But it started to take root because, well, first there was Dragon Ball Z, like I said, but also there was this TV program on one channel that was about anime and manga, and it was the trendy channel back then, the channel for the gens, like we say today. I don't know. I don't even know if we still say gens nowadays. But for the young ones, you know, for the trendy young ones. And I think that's part of how the anime culture took root, and after that, after a bit, there started to be some Japan specialized not necessarily big restaurant, but the Japan cuisine started to kind of get a hold here. So I think that's part of why it looks accurate because there was an actual interest in the Japan culture back then. How different is my French compared to France? Oh, it's pretty much France French. It's pretty much France French. It's not anything like Creole or Quebec French. It's pretty much France French, without much variation. Obviously, there are some expressions that made their way into like everyday speech, but it's pretty much France French. It's not different. But speaking about languages, like I said, we speak Malagasy, but like actually there are it's not a single language for the whole country. Like the official language is official Malagasy, but actually from a region to another, it's a different how do you call it? It's a different dialect. Kind of like how French Creole is its own thing. It's not just about accents. It's really a different dialect. So for example, if I go to the south, I have a hard time understanding people because it's Malagasy but not the same. It's different dialects. So actually, it's kind of hard. Yeah. Cajun Creole French. Yeah. There's no such thing here. It's just pretty much France French because it's just fat. It's just fat. And by the way, not everyone is actually fluent in French. Like I said, I was taught French in school, so I became bilingual at base, but not everyone is like that. But there are many, like I said, many expressions that made their way into everyday speech, everyday. So you will probably, if you come here, you'll probably hear people say random French words here and there, but not everybody is necessarily fluent. Is this about the pizza? Almost made you raise your pitchfork and let you torch. When I was a child, I was pretty picky with food. I didn't like cheese that much. There were a lot of vegetables and fruits that I didn't like. But as I grew up, I think my bad taste just started to appreciate the stuff I ate. The one thing I cannot stand to this day is green peppers. Bell peppers. Whether they're green or red or yellow. Because their smell makes me gag. It's just a reaction I cannot control. So obviously I do not want to eat something that makes me gag. So yeah. And like I said, when people tell me I have an accent, so usually these days I'm told I have a French accent. It really is a weird thing to me because at base I do not have an accent. And I do not even speak French and English like Malagasy people would typically do. Like I don't even have a Malagasy accent, so it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Speaking still on the subject of foods, let me tell you guys about some typical foods we have here. So like I said, we eat rice every day. Typically we have white rice for lunch, but red rice otherwise. I don't know if a red and there are many kinds of red rices actually. No, not like not really like this. Kind of like this, more like this. Our rice is not that long. It's not that long. More something like, is it brown? Well, we call it red. Farmin, we say. Far is rice. Far. The pronunciation in Malagasy is the last vowel of a syllable is usually kind of silent. Like if I write far, see, I say far and not fari. Far is rice. So we eat rice every day. The fargas is like farmin, red rice, but it's not long like this. It's not very long. It's more round, like this. Stuff like this. It's very common to see rice fields here, and everyone, like, we learned how to cultivate rice at school because literally it's our base food. So it was just, yeah, you gotta know, even if you aren't gonna do it, you gotta know the basics. Sounds French to you, my accent? Yeah. I guess it's kinda expected, since, like I said, I have like I'm basically I speak French every day, but still it's something very funny to me and pretty alien having an accent. I don't have an accent, everyone else that does. Well, I guess I'm supposed to have an accent from an American ear or whatever else ear. But like at base, I do not have an accent. Like in Malagasy, I don't have an accent. There is no accent. There is no Malagasy accent. There's just well, how the Meren talk and how each tribe talks. I say tribe. I'm not sure tribe would be the correct term, but that's how I'm gonna say it, because I think that's the easiest way to understand it. We don't have accents. We have dialects. We don't have accents the way, like, for example, in France they have the Parisian accent, the southern accent. We don't have stuff like that. We have dialects. Well, do we use English over there? Not really. At some point, English was introduced as one of our official languages, and then it got taken away when the government changed. English is a subject in school, but it's not. It's like I said at the beginning. It's more like a bonus subject where you get bonus points in order to get the passing score for official exams. It's not really talked that much. Well, these days, I see there are some TV channels that try to have some programs in English, in some newspapers that have some articles in English, but it's not widely talked. It's not widely talked. Okay, so we talked about rice. The other, okay, so for example, if I think about typical, like if you have to like think about typical Malagasy food, it would be the raftutu. Raftutu. It's obviously there's rice, there's always rice, but the accompanying stuff is what's the name of this in English again? It's do you have that? It's what's the name of this thing? Optional? Huh? Optional? What's optional? English is optional. Yeah, English is optional. Doesn't look good. Might be tasty. Oh, it's well. Honestly, I can really because like I'm biased. Obviously, I've grown up eating this stuff, so I don't know if it's an acquired taste. I know that for example, we have damn it, whatever. We have this beverage. Beverage is kind of weird, but you know, when we cook rice, then we let a bit of the stuff that stays stuck to the pan. I'm gonna say pan. The stuff that is stuck, the rice that is stuck to the pan, we let it burn a bit, and we add water afterward, and we call that ranful. And then there's and if we let it, some will let it burn for a while for it to become really kind of black, and others just a tiny bit. But basically, it's a juice of burnt rice. I know that one is an acquired taste because we love it, but I think foreigners don't as much. Ranful is an acquired taste. Raftut, I don't know if raftut is an acquired taste. It's basically damn it, the leaves of what's it called? Damn it. C'est du manioc déjà? These, what's it called in English? Wait, c'est du manioc déjà? Wait. I have a blank. Raftut sienaksu. It can become royal afterward. Wait. I have a blank. Let me just real quick before I say something I'm gonna regret later. Crushed. Oh, okay. Wikipedia says it's crushed cassava leaves. What is cassava? Is that what? It's called cassava in English. Okay, I learned something. Yeah, they are roots. But it's not the roots. It's the leaves. We crush the leaves and we cook it with some fat pork meat. Well, mostly the fat. I don't like the fat that much, but it's mostly the fat because the crushed roots are quite. Well, in Madagascar we'd say it's strong, but I don't know if it's the correct word. So basically, the reason why it's cooked with fatty parts of the pork is it goes better with the crushed leaves. But I prefer the actual meat. And some in some regions they add some coconut milk to it, and some will even add what's it called? Damn it! What's the name of? Oh my god! The moment I start to talk about Malagasy stuff, nothing English will come. Some shrimps to eat too. Depends on the region where you're eating it, but it's a pretty widely known Malagasy traditional dish. The fat helps with the strength of the leaves. Yeah, basically. It's not the roots we cook with for the ravtut. Ravtut means okay. Wait. Ravtut means well, quite literally crushed leaves. Ravtut. Crushed leaves, quite literally. So it's the leaves, but we do eat the. So apparently it's called cassava. Oh lord. Yeah. Oh well, I learned something today. I never had the opportunity to talk about cassava, I guess. So that's why I didn't even know that name. We do eat this a lot. Yeah, the cassava. That with sounds. Another type of roots. We do eat a lot of roots. It's usually it's eaten by people in the countryside when there is no rice. When on seasons when it's hard to get stuff to eat, when there is no rice. With the cassava, the sounds. I don't know what is it called? What else? And sweet potatoes too. Eat that quite a lot. Quite common here in cassava too. Never knew the name in English. I know a lot of the what's it called? The name in my own language. I know the name in my own language. Sometimes I don't even know the name in French. I just know the name in my own language. And there was never any reason for me to discuss it in another language. So now I'm like, how to call this? No, but it's good. I learned to this at the same time. Also, what else? Yeah, the cassava. I don't know how it's called in other languages. If it even exists somewhere else, but sounds and sweet potatoes are stuff that we eat quite a lot too. Like in my household they're more like snacks, but I know they're eaten as like base food when there is no rice in other households. What else? We talked about ravtutu, ranfula. It's just those are just really some small examples. What else? honestly, Raftoot is kind of like the thing. I know there is a company that has been exporting some Madagascar specialties in like as canned food, and I know Raftoot is one of those. Kub is also one of those. I don't know how far they. Oh my god, no! What is that? Planet of the Apes. Okay. No. No. Kub. There it is. Kub and oven. Kub. It's well, basically, it's it's sweet. First, it's sweet. I think there is some rice flour and some pistachio in here that is ground together, and then as you see, it's enveloped in banana leaves, and it's cooked in some kinds of earthen, some it's kind of like earth oven, basically. It's really tasty. I don't know if this one is an acquired taste too, but it's really tasty. You find it pretty much everywhere. Well, pretty much everywhere. It's pretty common to find. A nice piece of meat. It's probably the sugar, caramelized sugar. Is $1 USD. To give you an idea, let's see, how much does a kilogram of rice costs nowadays? Wait, just a moment. I know supposedly, because like I know it might it might get you a bit more than a kilogram of rice, and damn it, we don't measure rice by the kilogram. Actually, we measure it by the kapok. Damn it. Send ours. Okay. We measure our rice by the kapok, which is basically we take we have condensed milk in cans, and basically when they are empty, we take those cans and we measure our rice with it. Basically, that's how it goes. No, not pound. No, we use international measurements like everyone else, but for rice specifically, we go with that. We go with cans. And 1 kilogram is 3.5 cans. One kapok is no. Basically, usually we say 1/2 kapok is for one person's share of rice. It might be more or less, but let's go with that. One kapok is 1/2 kapok is the share of one person. So if 3.5 kapok is 1 kilogram, 1 kilogram can is the share of 3.5 times 2. is the share of 7 people for one meal. It's just rice without the look. Look. So like I said, we eat rice at every meal. That's the base. But there is always look. Look is the accompanying, like the side dish, if you'd like. And eating rice without the side dish is like the definition of being really poor, you say. So it allows you to buy the share of 7 people of rice, but it doesn't allow you to buy like meat nowadays. It's probably something like 8,000 maybe, for unless it's gone higher than that. Maybe let's say maybe 8,000 for some, yeah, because we eat pork, but also mostly beef. It might be enough for one single meal if you go to some cheap little hot restaurant, but it's not that much. It's not gonna pay for all the necessities to live. But yeah, obviously the currency is quite weak. It's even weaker with euros, which is probably what we have the most business exchanges with. But yeah, it's a funny thing, the kapok. So we said we have kub. Basically, it's either a snack or a dessert, because it's kind of like a cake, I guess. I also have. Okay, so we also eat our we at base our food is not very spicy at all, but we usually have a side of how do you call this in English? Pimento? We usually have a little side of pimento? How do you call this in English? How do you call this in English? On the side, for those who want to add it. We don't add it directly in our food, but you have it. Pepper! Huh? This is pepper? I thought pepper was... Wait. Really? But I thought pepper is the... Or is it like why? Is it like a name for a wide variety of stuff? Like, for one that can be spicy. Yeah, the one that is spicy. You have some varieties that are really spicy, or at least to me, it is really spicy. So our food is not spicy at base. We don't add this at base, but usually you have it on the side in its own little container, marinated in vinegar and stuff. Peppers in general. Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, there are many varieties. There is one such variety. It's called. There are red ones that are called pilkeli. However, I don't know if I can translate pilkeli. There are small red ones, small ones, kind of like the chili, I guess, but very small, very thinner and smaller. And then there is, I don't remember what color is it. I think it's probably green, kind of like these big peppers. Tlandimla, oh la la, this one almost killed me. Tlandimila. La. Basically, it means could not be eaten by 5 men. Could not be finished by five men. It's a very spicy one, and I didn't intend to eat it, but I was careless actually, because like I said, it's usually they're marinated in vinegar and put on the side for you to add to your meal if you want to, and it was marinated with some onions. And I was like, yeah, I'll just take the onions. I wasn't able to breathe for 5 minutes straight. I really thought that I was gonna die. I have a very low tolerance to spicy stuff. And I know that, like, famously this one is really spicy. I don't know on the what's it called again, the score something measure how high it is, but yeah, that was a bad decision on my part. I wasn't able to breathe for 5 minutes straight. I was in apnea during 4 or 5 minutes straight. It was terrible. Plus I was eating rice, so rice was warm. It just added to the hotness in my mouth. It was terrible. I really thought I was gonna die, and I swore there and then I'd never do that again. That was stupid of me. Okay, what else? If you like, for example, if you were to like come visit, those are the kind of snacks that you like, typical snacks. Like I said, there is mufkas, but there's also menakil. Is that gonna appear or not? Basically, it's kind of like a donut. Yeah, kind of like a donut. We also have banana. We have bananas almost year round. Actually, we have many fruits. So at any seasons at any point in the year, there's always gonna be a fruit that you can eat. We have bananas almost year round. Right now we have pineapples, mandarins, oranges. There's seasons for strawberries, peaches, mangoes, lychees. Like, we have many fruits. So you can always eat fruits year round. Beignet, yep. We have menake. Menake is kind of like donuts. There's nothing in it. This is just it's kind of like donuts, but like typical Malagasy donuts. And you also can find banana beignet, mufa kunch. See, there's the muf again. We call any kind of beignet or bread pan cake muf. There's also mufa kunch, banana beignet. What else? You probably can find beignet of many stuff, like cassava beignet too. Pretty tasty. What else? That's the kind of like little snacks you'll find in little the little shops near the roads. See, with the small, this is so cute. This with the typical little cup in which we drink coffee in these little shops. It's a metallic cup. This is very typical. They almost all look like this. We also have like fruits wise. We also have, how's it called in English? But it's Kuroshiro in French. We call it Kuroshiro too. What else? We even have watermelons. Although watermelons are, I've only started seeing watermelons a few years back. I don't know if I don't think they were. No, wait. Maybe it's just not where I live, but yeah. Cause like I said, I live in the highlands, but many of those fruits are from the coast. How does our bananas look like? I'm gonna tell you if they look like bananas, but we'll see. No. Yeah, not like this. Ours have... Yeah, I heard that the bananas are supposed to, like... That's part of why we don't export bananas to Europe, because we want bananas to be like this. But no, our bananas have some spots, like... Yeah, this is a bit too much, like this. Usually, when we eat bananas, they look like this. They're spotted like this. They're ripe like that. And we also have like long ones and the small ones that have a different taste. Not like this. They have spots, but not like this. Let's see if I type in Madagascar. What's it gonna look like? Yeah, we have these kind of bananas. Damn it, I forgot how it's called. Long ones, small ones, the ones that have to be cooked, and the ones that are just ripe and you can eat them directly. We have several types of bananas. There are also like kind of purple ones even. What else? As far as fruits go, wait, we have many fruits, and it's also something that I discovered later that not everyone has access to so many fruits. What else? As far as food go, so like I said, let's see. If I type soup chinoise, that's how it's usually called in the menu in the small restaurant. See, like this. It's like I say, it's just some kind of noodle soup with some other ingredients. Usually, you'd find some eggs, some pork or beef meat with it. Maybe some tatsu. Is tatsu something? Tatsu is just. I'm so. Okay. So we call it tatsu. Is basically sweet salty pork. I think it's kind of. Cooked through. What would this technique be named? Does this exist? Does this exist where you are? That's just Chinese. Yeah, no, but I don't know. I don't know if it's. So the name exists anywhere else. Okay, good. Because there are so many things to us that sound like, yeah, that's probably this, but it's just a bastardized version of the original. Char-siu. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything, but it's called satsu here. Yeah. And then and with. Okay, so There are many. Usually they call it fantan min or something like that. This I don't know how it's called either of anywhere else, but it's this ingredient for white. You have some kind of meatball inside it, and you can have it. Yeah, the satsu. I think the satsu is smoked, sweet, salty, smoked. The satsu is usually boiled, or sometimes it can also be fried. These are the kind of typical ingredients you'd have in the Chinese soup, and it's usually mostly like a kind of a specialty in Thomasen. Okay, so to go back to the little geography lesson, so we have like the biggest cities, the biggest towns in the country are the capital Antananarivo at the center, and then there is Antsirabe. Okay, so there's Antananarivo. God, how are we gonna do this? Antananarivo, which literally means the city of 1,000. And then there's a bit softer Antsirabe, which would literally mean what? The big salt. The big salt, because sir is salt and be means big or a lot. And then in the north you have Antsaranan. They also have different names in French. Antsaranan. Antananarivo is just Tananarive in French. Antsaranan is Diego Suarez actually in French. Antsirabe is also Antsirabe, if you do not know the name. In the west you have Mahajang, one of the hottest towns in the country. And if I remember correctly, yeah, it means big. It makes you kind of cuckoo with the heat. That's the name. And then you have Thomasen towards the west somewhere. I'm not good with geography, so don't take the exact placement as the actual one. Thomasen in the east, and the soup chinoise, the Chinese soup as we call it, is specialty here in Thomasen. And then you have Fenaratsu a bit towards the south here, Fenaratsu, which literally means good school or good teaching. And then you have Tuliar here in the south, or Tuliar in French. These were the biggest cities. Then you have other cities that are a bit bigger, but these were like the province capitals back in when there were provinces. Nowadays the country is divided into 22 regions, which are more akin to the different tribes that exist. Looks like a dumpling. Yeah, I think it does. Probably, yeah. Kind of like a dumpling. Then you'll have, like I said, riz cantonais is how it's called. Literally Cantonese rice. I don't know if it has anything Cantonese to it, but that's how we call it. Usually, that's how it will be listed in the menus, and it's just basically just fried rice. It's just fried rice with and then you'll have stuff like, do you want to have chicken or tatsu or anything else with it. Usually it's an option. It's different types of Cantonese rice. You'll find pizza, like I said, but also French tacos, which got introduced quite recently too. Mods, hello, welcome. Thank you very much for dropping by. We have tacos. We have a lot of stuff that is from foreign culture. But like I said, ravtut, kub. We have rumazav too, but rumazav is not really a meal in and of itself. So every meal will be something like you have the rice and the side dish for lok, like I said, lok with the rice. Rice is var. And you have lok with it, which is basically the side dish, kinda. Is that how it call it? So basically, it's the food that will accompany the rice, because we don't just eat rice on its own. Sometimes, and one such example of lok is the ravtut I showed you guys before. Rumazav is more like well, it can be considered as lok, but it's more of a roux, I guess. Roux is kind of like a broth, a soup. So this is also a typical, a traditional one. You have we eat lots of greens. I don't know if this one has a name in English. Anamala. Bread muffin. Anamala. Anamala. I don't know. It's not showing, but yeah, but some kinds of green. some types of greens. Not always anamala, but anamala is a pretty common one. We also add these are different. This is not how I know. Wait, this is not it. On the this is not it. Looks like okay, this is not the thing I know, so I don't know how the fuck it's called then. People like to add endive to this aubergine africaine. What? I have no idea how it's called. Aubergine malgache. So they're saying it's like damn it, what's it called? The thing, the emoji one. That's what aubergine is. Spirit Wolf, welcome. We are not talking about the animated one. How's the distribution between Malagasy and French there? Is there a language that's used more than the other? Oh no, obviously it's more Malagasy, but like Malagasy is the one that's used for everyday life, but French is for anything that is like at school, official, at work, on TV. It's pretty predominant. It depends where you work and where you go to school, but yeah, the two are official languages. You'll find people that are fluent in French, but not everyone is, and not everyone has had their whole curriculum in French. But it's still pretty pretty present. It's pretty like I'm sure a large like many people are actually bilingual, but it really depends on if you've learned it a lot in class. And we have many French words that have just become part of everyday speech, but yeah, it's still very much Malagasy first. Most people will go read Malagasy and listen to news in Malagasy over French, but it's still pretty present. Like how I'd say it is kind of like stuff that is a bit trendy and more modern usually will be in French. I think nowadays we're starting to try to add a bit of English to it, but English is still very far from being a widely known language in the country. Okay, so I was saying that we add and give to the roux. Okay, so it's not really stock, but kind of soup. Usually we have it like when we talk about roux, it will be something like just add some green to it. We have many we eat many leaves here, and the endive is so right here it says aubergine. What's it called again in English? It's the emoji. The purple emoji. What's it called again? It's that thing. That's what aubergine is. And it right here it says aubergine malgache. So basically it says it's Malagasy that. This is the thing, and it's pretty bitter. There are many people that like it a lot. Like older people like it a lot. I don't like things that are bitter, but it is added to soups. Broth, kind of like, yeah, broth. So basically what we do is we have rice, we have a side dish with the rice, the tasty side dish, because the rice is it has the taste of rice. You know, just plain rice in the side dishes, and maybe a side of a bit of pepper for the spice if you want, and some sort of broth to, because I don't know about how it is eaten in other countries, but I absolutely hate it when my rice is super dry. So I always add, if there is no broth, I'll add just some water to it. Marula. What is marula? Marula. Marula. I've already seen the name, but I don't know what that is. Marula. Oh, this looks like pipas. We have a fruit that we call pipas, but I don't know if that's it. Like I said earlier, I know the local name, but not always the name. Even in French, sometimes it's hard. I don't know how it's called. We have a fruit called pibas. You know what? Let's see. Does it show here? Pibas Madagascar. There. Kind of looks like that. Was that the same? Yeah, kinda. Maybe it's the same family or the same. I don't know. These are pipas. These are what I know. I do not know of something that's called, like, I haven't heard of anything that is called marula locally. But then again, like I said, there are many regions in this country, and we do not like, technically we speak in Malagasy, but it's different dialects. So if I go to the south, in a town in the south, I'll actually have a hard time understanding whatever we're saying, even if technically we are speaking Malagasy, but it's a different dialect. So yeah, as far as I'm aware, I do not know of a fruit that is called marula locally. To begin with, this that does not sound Malagasy to begin with. Malagasy is actually a pretty easy language, like rules wise. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty straightforward. It doesn't have any complicated rules, like, for example, if I just took French is pretty complicated complex rules wise. We don't have that many complicated rules, but I understand that for someone who's used to read something like French or English, we do have many syllables. We do have many syllables, and it seems like some syllables may be superfluous, but actually they serve a purpose still. So yeah, like there are many words that end with nanan. And see, the way it's pronounced is just nanan. Is pronounced really quickly. So if you're not used to the language, you have a hard time catching up. Like, and you think, wait, you just pronounced nanan, and yet there are many syllables at the end. But it's not that complicated. It's not that complicated at all. It's pretty straightforward. Kaki! I don't know how these are called. There are these two, but these are like one of my least favorite fruits, because they're like the taste is just so bland. it's just very sweet, and that's about it. And it's not even that juicy either, which is kind of sad for a fruit. We have we have bananas, pineapples, apples, different types of apples, peaches. Actually, how are these called? Prune too. Okay, prunes, peaches, strawberries, Kuroshiro. I don't know how it's called in English. Actually, I don't know if we have kiwi locally, but I've also already eaten some kiwi at some point, but I don't know if it's local. Might have been imported. I don't know. But these aren't imported. I know watermelons grow here too, but I feel like I've only seen watermelons recently, so I don't know if it's something that has been introduced recently too. Orange tomato, persimmon. I've heard that name a lot, but I have no idea. Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, it might be a variety or exactly it, but yeah. It might be a variety because the fruit doesn't look exactly like this. Inside, I mean, this has many, like, some small quarters. It's rather soft, but not very juicy. We also have, what else we have? Lychees. Do you guys know that we produce a lot of cocoa? And I absolutely apparently the Swiss chocolate, the Belgian chocolate are some very famous chocolates, and I've eaten some that were imported, but I find them terrible. Nothing goes close to Madagascar chocolate to me. Lychees, and there's another variety of lychee that we call Chinese lychees, but I don't think it's actually Chinese lychee. It's actually Chinese. These. Ah, damn it. Wait. These kind of lychee. Wait a minute. No, not. How do I show these? Why is this this way? Just a moment. Here, these kinds of lychees. Locally we call them Chinese lychees, but I don't know if they're Chinese or anything, but these kinds do. We have them too. Okay, I'll just go back here. I don't remember why I did this like this, but there's probably a reason. If I had to give a favorite fruit, it's kind of difficult. I really like strawberries, but I love a lot of them. We have mangoes. It's really hard to choose one. I like dark chocolate. I prefer dark chocolate, but I don't know, just maybe because I really like the cocoa here. We have a company that's called Robert. They do they've been the ones to first do the chocolate here, and over time there have been a few companies that did chocolate too, at least 2 I think, but it's always been Robert, the leader in chocolate, and I just love their chocolate. And every time like if someone has gone to a foreign country, they come back with some chocolate. it's a tradition, bringing gifts for the ones back at home. It's called fondalan here. Fondalan literally means the fruits of a road. If I was to translate it quite literally, the fruits of a road. So basically, it's tradition to just if you go somewhere, visit somewhere, you should bring some vondalan. And usually when there are people that go anywhere outside of a country, it's easier for them to bring stuff like chocolate. And every time I eat different chocolates, I always find them blah. Well, the only chocolate I found was kind of good, but I still prefer Robert's chocolate. Is Ferrero Rocher. I don't know if they are here. Sometimes there are some imported Ferrero Rocher in some of our in supermarkets. We don't buy them, but if someone brings some, it's kind of good. It's kind of good, but I still prefer, like, at best it's on par with Robert's. Fondant is basically bringing back souvenirs. Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, kind of expensive. It is. It's like if you want to flex a bit, like, I was able to buy this. So flex a bit. But yeah, at best I say they're on par with Robert's chocolates, but the Robert's chocolates have, like, they have some very luxurious ones and some very cheap ones, so you get the good stuff for very little money, well, relatively speaking. So yeah. What other stuff? Do you guys have other stuff that you're curious about? I've talked about a lot of things here, but I'm starting to run out of ideas. Do you guys have other curiosities about the country, about Madagascar, or just like stuff like that? We've talked about food. Usually it's easy to talk about food, but yeah, there are many touristic spots here, and I've only been to very few ones. In terms of like places I've actually visited, I've only visited like so few cities actually. I've gone to wait, maybe we can try to bring out a map and I'll show you guys where I've been and maybe share a bit of the stuff that was interesting there. Why is that? Well, if you go into the image tab, it shows baobabs, which, yeah, good. We do not speak about the other stuff. The flag, people, yeah. The lemurs, sure. The capital, the city. Is there like a map? Something like a touristic map would be nice. Okay, maybe you can try this. This is so small. Wait, no, it's not. Can I just open the image in your tab? Oh Lord. Wait, no. Not what I wanted to do. Whoa, dear Lord. This is gonna be annoying. This is gonna be annoying. Come back. No, come back. Okay. Okay, we'll put it here. We're gonna. So, do we see some interesting spots here? Okay, so Antananarivo, like I said, is the capital, and Mahajanga, Toamasina, Antsiranana, Fianarantsoa, Toliara were the capitals of the different provinces. But nowadays Madagascar is more like, in terms of administrative separations, it's now about 22 regions, which is more akin to the different quote-unquote tribes present in the island. I've been to all the major cities, like the provinces. I've been to Toamasina, Mahajanga, Antsiranana, Toliara, Fianarantsoa. Antananarivo is the capital. It is where you have most everything. Antsirabe is another big city. It's slightly to the south. You can get there by on road. By car it takes something like 3 hours more or less to get there. It's another big city, and it's pretty it's pretty populated too. Fianarantsoa is more towards the south here, and honestly, I don't know. Like, there's not really many features. Like, the cities in the center, there's not really that many features, I think, to talk about here. Like, if I had to say, whatever's happening on the highland here in the center is the least interesting. Like, there's not much going on, but it's on the coast and stuff, like going to national parks where it becomes quite interesting. But that's just my outlook as someone who's lived here all my life, and everything kind of looks the same going from Antananarivo to Antsirabe. Maybe there's some different stuff in Fianarantsoa, but not that much. Plus, once I get outside of my city, I want to see the sea, and there is no sea here in the high grounds. But yeah, but there are some hot springs around here in the south. Around there is a place called Ranmafan, which literally means hot water. There is a pool there with hot water, like the kind that, I don't know how different it is from like the famous hot springs in Japan, but the kind that comes from volcanoes, stuff like that. There are some also around Antsirabe, because it's a volcanic region. There are many, I don't know many, but there were volcanoes around Antananarivo too. Actually, there are many, a lot of them, but all of them are dead nowadays. And then if you go towards the south, there is the East Sal National Park. I've been there. The south is very, like, it has some very rough and kind of alien, I guess, landscapes. Like we talked about the Tsing de Bemara, which, like I said, I haven't been able to see yet, but it has some really interesting rock formations, as you can see. Which of the major cities would I say would be better for tourists or have pleasant foods to try? Honestly, the typical route would be to go, well, you'd arrive at Antananarivo, where you'd have most everything you need, and then you pick a touristic destination. Like, if you go in Madagascar, you want to see the unique kind of stuff Madagascar has to offer and not just stay in the city for whatever. Although culinary tourism is a very legit thing, in which case, well, you'd find a lot of stuff in Antananarivo, obviously, but every other region has stuff to offer. That's quite kind of difficult. I think the culinary tourism will just follow whatever touristic destination you want to go. There are many national parks you can go to. Towards the south is more dry and kind of desertic, and towards the east it's very green, like a lot of trees, a lot of forests, some very thick forests. Though we have suffered a lot from deforestations, and there aren't as many trees and as there used to be. But yeah, there is also some here in the north. Like north and east are more green and full of trees, and the south and the west were always much more barren. Different kind of vegetations here. More savanna and desert like. But I've been to all the major cities. Tuliar, I've been there a while ago. Ansaranan was like the cleanest city I've been in the country. I was really surprised by it. Tulia, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I've been there, but not for long, and it's been a while ago. So nothing really stands out to me in Tulia. Mazang was the most we've gone to, like, for a while. I don't know how it is right now, but Mazang has always been the place where everyone goes to for vacation. It's either Mazang, or there is a small town here in the east called Full Point. It was either there or in Mazang to go to see the sea, to have a vacation. We don't have our vacation, like the school's breaks don't actually happen in our summer. It actually follows the French system. But summer here is it's not so bad, because summer here is pretty hot, and even if it's pretty hot, it's even hotter on the coasts. So if we went on the coast on summer, we'd probably just faint from the heat. So maybe it's not that bad, but yeah, we actually have our breaks in the cold season, in the cold and dry season. Thomasin is the port city. It's where the biggest port in the country is. That's where most of the merchandise that comes from sea arrives. But I think Tolania in the software is too. But yeah, it's mostly here. And then you can see Nusibe is a small, like Nusibe and Sainte Marie. Nusibe and Sainte Marie are two small islands. You can see Nusibe right here. Here, small Nusibe, and Sainte Marie. Wait, they didn't actually. There's no Sainte Marie on this map, but there is a small, longish, small island here. Those also are touristic destinations. I've been to Sainte Marie, but not yet to Nusibe. Like, if I have the opportunity, obviously I'd like to go there. But yeah, those are also some hot spots. And aside from that, it's the national parks, as I said. So you have Isal, and then there's the Baobab Alley. The Baobab Alley. Haven't been there. It's near Murndav, which I haven't been to yet. But Murndav is famously pretty hot too. Avenue of the Baobabs is how it's called apparently in English. How long is summer break in Madagascar? I guess it's about 3 months. It's well, it depends on the grade you are in, but most roughly 2 months. It's usually roughly 2 months. Like July, August. But if you have an official exam, it might be less than that. Because I remember I took my my baccalaureate, basically the last official exam that corresponds to graduating in high school. I took it back in August, back in the day. So yeah, but after that you'd go to university or something like that, and that has a different schedule. So yeah. it's small, so it's hard to see. Okay, so like I said, there are like, do you see my? Oh no, even this is okay. So in the north, there are basically the big cities, but among them it's really Mazang, which is the hot touristic spot. And you derive, there are some flights that go directly to Nuspe, but usually you derive at the capital in Antananarivo, and then from there you'd go to whatever destination you decided to go to. There are many places you can go to. So honestly, and I have barely experienced any of them. So all in all, it's something like, if you go like, see, just earlier I was typing Madagascar, and it shows stuff like where to go, places to visit. See, that is a good start. Nusbe, I haven't been yet. I can't say much, but I hear it's beautiful. It's a national park. It's a national park. You're there to see unique stuff, unique fauna mostly. Cinco de Bemara, interesting rock formation, pretty adventurous. Andas Bay Mantadi National Park. Andas Bay is, it's what was the east. Haven't been yet, but the east means it's more humid, and there are a lot more fauna to see, like green fauna to see, a lot of trees, a lot of small creatures in there. Nuspora, this is Sainte Marie. I've been there. It's famously where many pirates apparently made their lair, put their treasures in. There is a pirate cemetery there. I've seen it. Pretty interesting and really beautiful. Ranmafana National Park, pretty nice. I've been there. Like really like you want to see some. It's not jungle like. It's not jungle, but pretty thick trees, pretty thick forests, lots of kinds of lemurs and lemurs is like the mainstream fauna, but flora. I meant flora here. I don't remember seeing any. Like, I think the east is more ripe with many species of creatures, of animals to see. Ansaranan is like I said, the cleanest city I've seen among the big cities. Murndav is where the Avenue of the Baobabs are. You'll see many baobabs then. Thomas is the port city. Thomas is more. It's more that there are many towns in the region, in Thomason's region, that are nice touristic spots, including like I said, Full Point. But there's also stuff like Ambilali Mites, where the canal of the Pengalans is. Masol National Park. So this is more like towards the northeast. I haven't been, so I can't really say much. But there are many national parks to visit here too. I know there are also stuff like towards the north. I don't remember where exactly. Where they go to do what's this called in English? De la parapente. In English, parapente. It exists. Parapente. There are many activities that you can do too. There are even people that go to surf in the south. The waves are not that big, but you can do it. There are many things to do. forms of transportation in Madagascar. Well, by land it would be the taxi bus. So it's kind of like, would be written like this. Taxi bus. French or taxi bus. Or in Malagasy. Basically, it's like buses that go, instead of just within the city, go from one city to the other. But there are also rental cars. Obviously, would be much more comfortable if you can afford them. And there's planes. But that's from cities to cities. But within a city, it would be just the buses and taxis. But most people would just go by buses, or just by foot. Basically, just by foot. I've went through buses a lot when I was younger, but nowadays I feel like maybe I'll just go by foot. But water looks pretty. It is pretty. Well, we have Indian Ocean on the east and the Mozambique Canal on the west. If you go on the west, you see them at different colors. Like on the east, it's more crystalline, blue greener, I'd say. And on the west, it's redder. It's redder. But really, you get to appreciate how big the island is, because from one side to the other, it's pretty different. Actually, it's pretty different. Like see how it looks. In the west, you have the baobabs, and in the east, you have some thick forests. It's really pretty interesting. Every time I have the opportunity to just go outside of my city, out of the city, it always amazes me how beautiful this place is. And like I said, there aren't any actually dangerous animals. There are many species, families, types, I don't know, many species of small animals and stuff, but not a lot are that dangerous. I think there are some venomous ones, like arachnids, like spiders and scorpions, but it's nothing like it's nothing like if you go outside you'll get attacked or what. There's nothing like that. Pretty safe on that side. But obviously, if you go to a national park, you'd have to be careful. But usually they'll give you some instructions on what to expect and what to not do. Oh yeah, you also have to be careful on. There are stuffs called fadi. Okay, so what's it called? If you have to go anywhere in here, it's common sense here, but yeah, fadi. So basically, stuff that is forbidden. It has some pretty traditional and spiritual meanings. If people say, "Do not wear anything red," "Do not bring any gold in this place," just follow what they say. Just follow what they say. But usually people will warn any foreigners, and that includes people from other regions when I say foreigners. And if foreigners about the fad in the place we're gonna visit, just follow what the local people say, and you'll be fine. It'll be fine as rain. Is that the expression? But yeah. There are many things to be discovered here. I wouldn't say we have any weird food or what. Honestly, we don't eat stuff like we don't eat like we don't eat snakes. Oh no, wait. There might be some regions that do eat snakes, for example, but there aren't that many snakes here. Like the weirdest thing I might have eaten in my life here was ostrich and croc. There is a croc farm, and the ostriches are not native here, but there was a fair or something like that. I don't quite remember where I ate some. That's like the most out there stuff I've ever eaten. We do eat insects too, like when people don't have access to anything, they'd grill some what are they called in English again? Les sauterelles. I've never eaten them myself, but my parents told me about eating those. And we have what's it called? Sauterelle in English. Grasshoppers, stuff like grasshoppers, little insects like that. People will sometimes like grill or fry them when they don't have any food. Well, insects are pretty nutritive, so yeah. But I personally haven't eaten any of those yet. What are some places that have fat? Well, many places have fat. Many places have fat. But like I said, usually if it's people will warn you about stuff, not what to do and what not to do. Scorpion lollipop once. It was alive. Oh. But wait. When we were talking about common forms of transportation, there are also just men. Not, I don't think chariot. Is that how we'd call it? Carts. Like carts that are tiré. Oh my god, I can't English today. The moment I have to man-pulled carts or not beef. What how do you call Zebu pulled carts? There are the big carts like at wait, chariot. The big ones, the carts, but there are also pus. How do you call it? Pus in English. Rickshaw. Okay. Is it really that? Rickshaw. If I say rickshaw, does it really show what I think? Yeah. Rickshaws too. Not in the in the capital. You'll see some carts. But the rickshaws are more in Antsirabe or the over big cities on the coast. And then you have the auto rickshaws that have been introduced later in some cities too. In the capital, you'll only have like buses, and you'll see some carts being pulled by people or some zebus. But the rickshaws are mostly in Antsirabe and the other cities. And it's kind of like a small attraction, you know. Oh, we go by rickshaw. What else? Oh, we've talked about food. We've talked about food, about transportations. I've even talked a little about, yeah, even some traditions. Do you have other questions? Other things you're curious about? I've been rambling for 3 hours. This is much more than I was expecting to ramble about the country, but hey, that's nice. That's nice. Hopefully you've learned a few things here and there, so that when you hear the name, you don't just think of a silly animated movie that has nothing to do with it. I'll always yap about that. No, but yeah. Somewhere I'd be very happy if my rambling gave you a bit of an insight, you know, about the stuff you can find in my country. It's far from like if you look at the landscape, the scenery, the fauna, the flora, it seems like it should be a paradise, but at the same time it's far from being a paradise on earth. But it's still a pretty nice place to live in, even though there are a lot of shitty things. But hey, the more the time passes, the more I learn about other places, I really came to the realization that grass is not greener on the other side. And yeah, there are a lot of things that are shitty in my country, but there are also a lot of things that are pretty nice. And well, lately I've caught myself thinking, oh damn, it's a good thing that I was born here. And then I'll remember, oh, I can't even get monetized on YouTube, and getting paid on the international level is a pain. But when I hear stuff about war here, debts there, I'm like, yeah, no, grass is not greener anywhere else. Just gotta make the best out of the hand you've been given. Could be better for sure, but could definitely be worse. So much worse. So I'll take that. Yeah, I think I've talked about a lot of stuff here. If you have no more stuff you're curious about, I think I'm gonna finish the well, at least for today, we're gonna finish the topic. We're gonna finish talking about my lovely country. One last little thing here. I just wanted to express. I don't know if I'll be able to express this well, but I just wanted to say thank you, because we reached the historical milestone of 500 plus subs on YouTube, and in the grand scheme of things, that might not be that impressive at all, but looking at where I started, with what I started, and how I've just crawled to get here, I'm really just grateful. I'm grateful to all the people who gave me a chance here. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to for clicking on one of my videos, saying like, oh, I don't know why you clicked, but I will be forever grateful for that. And I'll keep well, I'll keep doing my best to bring you guys some meaningful, entertaining content here. I do not have any thoughts of stopping anytime soon. I'll just keep working on it slowly but surely. I hope to be able to do more, much more than this. Every time when I look at stuff like, yeah, this is not available in your country, this is not available in your country, it's very discouraging. But at the same time, when I see stuff like my stats, where I see, oh, there are people from this country, there are people that come say hi in chat, saying, hey, hi from Brazil, hi from this country. There was no way for me to have that kind of opportunity aside from here. Thank you so much for giving me a chance, and I hope I hope to continue to do something that will make you want to stay, so that you can see, Nova is growing. Nova is doing even better stuff than she used to do. And maybe hopefully you can find some inspiration from my own struggles and my small victories. If it gives you a little smile, a little motivation, a little courage to do stuff that you wanted to do, to get through the day, that would really mean a lot if I was able to do that for you. Know that every time I see a little comment, a little, like any little interaction you have with me meant something. And I hope every little thing I do here can mean something for you too. There. Thank you so much. I have been trying to build a Discord server lately, but it's not going so well. But yeah, if anything, I will put if I'm finally able to do it, I will put up an announcement. And I've also been thinking of opening some kind of memberships, because on the Twitch side we have subs available, but on YouTube, like I said, I do not have monetization available because of where I live. And so I've only have the Buy Me a Coffee link, but I can also put up some memberships on Buy Me a Coffee. So I was thinking of doing that, so that if for those interested, to add little perks to it. But that's in the works. I've been trying to get around that, but it's also tied to the Discord server. For now I don't have any projects of having a big open Discord server, because it's only just me. I don't have the time to moderate it and stuff. So I was thinking of having it like a perk for the memberships, and adding other little perks, stuff like that, for those who are interested. Like, it's if it feels, if you have the means and it feels good to support me, and I'll add little perks to it. Also, that way maybe we'll be able to finally upgrade Nova's model because I don't think I'll have the time to upgrade it myself anymore. Just so nice. Hello, welcome. Thank you very much for dropping by. But yeah. Oh, Spirit will have a question. How about junk food, chips, and candy? We have a lot of those. Like just locally produced, actually artisanally produced chips and candies. There are a lot of those, and there are like typical Malagasy candies. I don't know if nowadays you'll still be able to find them easily. Industrialization is not very widely it's not really that widely developed, but at the same time, there is some companies that use industrial means. So nowadays, I don't think I've seen any more like the typical Malagasy candies anymore. But it doesn't mean that the industrial ones aren't. It's different. Very different kinds of candies that I haven't seen much of anymore lately. But yeah, Discord is difficult. I'm still fighting with it right now. And like I said, since it's just me, I don't have the time to like moderate it. So that's why I don't want. I don't think I'll it'll have to be an exclusive Discord where only members are invited instead of like everyone, because I don't have anyone to moderate it, and that is also an open door for some dangerous stuff to happen if there is nobody to moderate. So, yeah, I'll work on it slowly on the side. But yeah, still I wanted to say thank you very much for that, even if it's a small milestone in like relative to everything that exists on the platform and everything. It still means a lot to me. It still means a lot. In my first year, I barely even reached 50 subscribers, so reaching 500 is mind-blowing. And well, early on I did compare myself a lot to people that started at the same time and that had a lot more success than I did. But I don't know, I'm kind of stubborn, you know. Even when if I look up stuff like how to be successful and stuff like that, if I have to use means that don't really agree with my own principles, I don't like it. Like yeah, sure, I'd probably have more views if I like covered the song everyone is listening to. But the thing is, I don't usually like the songs that everyone is listening to, so I only ever cover the songs that I like, which happen to be only appealing to a small niche of people. So yeah, you know, stuff like that. I play only like I only play some some obscure older games, and like yeah, sure, I have to accept the fact that the stuff that I'm interested in interests only a select few. But at the same time, I'm sure it's not that few. Sometimes it's like, no, but yeah, well, whatever. I'll do what I have to do within still the scope of the scope of it, without betraying my own principles and own values. If it means I have to crawl instead of run, it's fine. As long as there is progress, as long as I move forward, it's fine. So yeah. I am an NPC, but I'm on that anime protagonist grind still. Oi! 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 Hey! 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 I do not joke about this. I will mute you. I will mute you, Spirit Wolf. Actually, I should mute you right now. But the stream is over, so if I see you next time, I will mute you directly. You will not make a cult around that wretched movie. I will not allow it. But yeah, no. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next time you appear in chat, you will be muted. Next time I see you appear in chat, you will be muted. But it's useless right now because we're gonna stop. We're gonna finish the stream. But next time you'll get the bunk. I do not joke around on this one. But yeah, Thank you guys so much for dropping by today. I do hope I was able to like share some interesting tidbits with you. I do hope you learned a thing or two, and that next time when you hear the word Madagascar, something else than that wretched thing comes to your mind. That wretched animated movie. Okay. Honestly, I spent 3 hours here rambling about the country. You better retain something. But yeah, no. Honestly, I hope maybe you learned a little thing, in some interesting tidbits here. I absolutely did not like make a comprehensive like I didn't comprehensively talk about the country or what. Like I only shared a few things here and there, very haphazardly. But yeah, we can always have some tidbits, some trivia here and there. But I just wanted to take a bit of time here today to actually like focus on talking a bit about my country. That will be it for this week's streams. Do keep an eye on the YouTube channel this Saturday, and this Sunday I will put up the schedule for the streams next week. But in the meantime, do take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you again next time.